but not one with a ton of game experience. Yes, you bring back Sean Dion Hamilton, but Hamilton's coming off an ACL of his own. So I think the health status of Keith Holcomb is something that we're probably not talking enough about going into fall camp. Let's head to the phone lines at 205-342-9904 and check in with Ellis. We'll get Ellis's thoughts on that topic and some other stuff up in Manchester, Tennessee. Ellis, how you doing this morning?
Just fine. How you doing there, Travis?
Great.
T. Brown.
Tony Brown's your under the radar guy?
Yes.
Okay. I got you. Going to be important. He needs to be what he should be.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. I think, this is his last chance, ain't it? Did you know this is his last year?
This is it. Tony Brown is a senior, the former 5-star recruit. They got him in there at that star position, sort of the nickel back. Should have a big year.
He showed a little bit last year. But, that's why I'm hoping this year that he really shines, and that's why I pick him.
Never been a question of physical tools.
Star,
Yeah, big-time recruit coming out of the state of Texas. I want to say Beaumont, Texas, maybe.
But he stayed in the doghouse a lot, though.
He has struggled with that. And with all that, the guy still graduated in 3 years. So you got to give him some credit for that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And he done pretty good in track, didn't he, this year?
Yes, an All-American in the 100 meters, I believe. So two-sport guy in Tony Brown.
That's my.
You got your pick in there. What else you got for us, Ellis?
Well, I know we've talked enough. Everybody's talked enough about what's his name, Deshaun Hand. He made a mistake, but there's, like one feller was saying yesterday, there's all kinds of different ways that you can get a ride home.
Yes, there is.
But he didn't think hard enough on that, but you can't bash him because, just about everybody you talk to has done that once before. I've left somewhere down there in Tuscaloosa before, like I was telling Ryan, Harry's Bar.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Yes.
I left there before and don't even know how I made it home. And when I got home, I had to holler for my neighbor to come help me inside the house.
It's an unfortunate but an honest truth if most of us are being honest. And you're right. In this era, there are so many ways to get yourself home. And I can tell you, as the parent of a 21-year-old, I constantly communicate with mine. Uber. I'm not naive enough to think that my 21-year-old is at chapel every Friday and Saturday night, okay? So that's the only point I stress. Take advantage of the resources available to you. And as a parent, that's all you can do. As a coach, that's all you can expose your players to. At that point, it comes down to the individual. They got to make the right call. Hey, Ellis, we got to run.
But there's a lot of resources there on the campus.
Absolutely, there is. But
hopefully he learned his lesson, and maybe it'll make him a better person, better man in the future.
It's done that with many before him. So, yep, that's hopefully the case with Deshaun Hand. Thanks, Ellis.
All right. Thank you.
205-342-9904, the number to call. Let's head back to the phone lines. Talk with Pat. Pat, how you doing this morning?
Hey, hello, Travis. Hey, my sleeper is Terrell Hall.
Okay.
Terrell Hall is going to make a believer out of us at jack outside linebacker and possibly at one of the other linebacker positions because he is going to fill in some need with a little bit of extra age in comparison to the freshman.
He's another guy like Tony Brown. When you talk about all the tools, 6'5", about 250, can run, athletic.
He runs like a deer.
Yeah. Changed his name in the offseason to Lewis, Terrell Lewis now he goes.
Terrell Lewis.
Yeah.
But I'm like Clay. Hey, I'm going to still call Ali Clay.
I got you.
Hey, Roll Tide, thank you for taking my call, but Terrell Lewis is going to be a superstar. Have a good day, and my man Deshaun Hand. I feel like Coach Saban's going to figure out something to do, and he's going to start, sir. And he's going to plant that fella in. A Frenchman with a name like he's got at quarterback. He's going to plant him in that Mercedes dome looking up at the ceiling.
There you go.
Good one.
All right, Pat. Thanks for the call. One more under the radar player for the Alabama Crimson Tide heading into Thursday's start of 2017 fall camp. James Hardy, give us your second and final choice.
Tight end Miller Forrestall.
Oh, I like it. I like it. But I'm going to stay at tight end, and I'm going to go with the other guy. I'm going to go with Irv Smith Jr. Now, I think in Forrestall and Smith, James, you're talking about a potential ultra productive duo moving forward. Just second-year players. Hale Henches is actually the starter going into fall camp. But as far as the passing game goes, Forrestall and Smith are the guys to watch, and I'm sure that's what you're going with in Forrestall, right?
Exactly.
A guy who, on the high school level, watching his old high school tape, Miller Forrestall actually split out a lot. Was basically a wide receiver. You can play those guys together. Irv Smith Jr., he's sort of built kind of more like an H-back, but he can play that traditional tight end spot. I like it. Miller Forrestall and Irv Smith Jr. And I'm guessing James Hardy's counting on the old tight ends coach, Brian Dable, feeding those tight ends in that Alabama offense.
Rob Gronkowski, ring a bell?
Yeah. Yes. Was that Martellus Bennett last year?
Absolutely.
Once Gronk went out? Yeah. They have a track record with those New England Patriots, with Brian Dable up there, of working that tight end position to perfection. So there you go. There are some under-the-radar candidates. James Hardy, giving you Anthony Averett, and also Miller Forrestall. I went with Keith Holcomb, the local, the Hillcrest product at linebacker, and also I stuck with the tight ends with James, went with Irv Smith Jr.